BoDean 52, how are you folks? Today we are going to talk about the 5 risks you have with riding a motorcycle and the 5 ways that you can minimize those. Alrighty. So today we are going to talk about the 5 things that can get you in trouble, hurt or killed on a motorcycle, and then 5 things that you can do to minimize that. Alright, the first thing for me is the bike ready to ride? Now, we all know, or most of us know, what T-clocks means, right? Which is the inspection that we are all supposed to do, which we probably don't, including me, on the motorcycle before we leave and ride, right? So I think the T is for tires and wheels. The C is for controls, turn signals, brakes, that type of stuff. The third one is lights. Are all the lights working? Brake lights, headlights. I think the O is for oil, if I remember correctly. It's probably a good idea to make sure the oil is appropriate in the bike. And the C is for, I believe, chassis. And then the K is for kickstand. I think I got that right. And we all know that if you are out on your motorcycle, whether it's just low tire pressure or it's not been running right, and you decide to make a left-hand turn, maybe into this driveway or something, and somebody's coming around the corner or onto this street and your bike happens to stall, well, that could be a bad day for you, right? So definitely don't want that to happen. And to me, it's really being vigilant in the inspection of the bike before I go out. In the spirit of transparency, when I get on my Road King Classic, it's easy to, hey, it's a new bike. I can check what the tire pressure is on the bike on the monitor, so it's no big deal. And yes, it is right. I've checked it a few times. So when I get on the Road King, I really do try to check the tire pressure, make sure I have oil, and all those things. So that to me is number 1. Number 2 is, are you mentally ready to ride the motorcycle? Now, a lot of times, one of the reasons that we ride is to be able to kind of go out and get away from stuff that's going on, whether it's something at home, whether it's something at work, whether your mind's somewhere else. To me, this is a critical one. You ever know it's kind of like when you're riding in a cage, and whether you're talking on your phone safely, that's a whole different conversation. But you kind of get to a place and you're like, I don't remember the drive here. Has that ever happened to you? I know it has to me. So my concern is that happens when I'm on the motorcycle. Obviously, I never talk on the phone, even in my helmet on my motorcycle. That is just me. But I'll tell you what, if you're not mentally there, and you're not sharp, and you're not thinking about the road, and you're not thinking about, hey, how am I going to take this turn up here, right? What's the safest way so I can see around the corner? And you're drifting away, it's a good way to keep yourself killed, get yourself killed, or really hurt and somebody else hurt. So I say make sure your head's in the game before you get on that bike. Number 3, what are the conditions outside? And what are the conditions outside for your riding? Right? And I guess the first thing that always comes to mind is rain. Okay? Is it raining? Hey, come on, we ride in the rain. Right? If it's something around town, we may not do that, but when we go for a ride, we don't care if it rains. We're going to put rain gear on. But I will tell you, when I was coming home from my trip to Kentucky and Tennessee with Mrs. BoDean, we got rained on, and it was bad. It was real bad. And as a matter of fact, we had a 2-day drive, and this was just our 2-day ride, and this was just day 1, right? So we wanted to make sure that we got some miles ate up in that first day. Well, the weather was so bad we were just like, at one point I said, I can't see, right? I gotta stop. So we stopped, went into a restaurant, and it was still raining. It was an hour and a half, and it was raining hard. And I'm looking at the forecast, and I'm like, it's still going to be raining hard. I really need to stop. But we were debating about, hey, can we take it? We'll just take it slow. And then, of course, we start getting lightning alerts, and that's when we shut it down. So there are conditions as it gets closer to winter for us folks in the north, in the northeast where it snows. There are conditions where you just got to say, let me keep the bike in the garage and ride another day. Number 4, ride to your skill level. And you know what? I think that is a conversation that we probably see those guys whipping around there. They have this is perfect. These guys have a different skill level than I do. I'm not going to be able to take these twisties back here 30 miles over the speed limit like those guys are. I just don't have those skills. And I think it's easier to ride within our skill set when we're out riding by ourselves. But I think where the pressure is on is when you're riding with somebody else. And if you're not leading, that pressure of, oh man, they're ahead of me, I got to catch up, right? If you're doing, this is 35, so if you're doing 45 in here and they're way up the hill and you're like, I got to catch them, now all of a sudden you're doing 55 to catch them. You can't do that. That is a good way to get yourself hurt or killed. I could tell you multiple times of people that I know that got in accidents because they were pushing their skill level. And as bad as it was for them, the people that were leading that ride, it really screwed them up because they felt responsible and they weren't. You own it. I own it. Ride your skill level. And I can't tell you enough, there are plenty of folks on YouTube that will show you the proper way to ride, give you hints, give you tips, a lot more qualified than I am. And I suggest you look at those, and I think you should take as much motorcycle training as you can in person. Not only when you start off riding, which is, in my opinion, critical, but advanced classes. I have not done that. That's something I got to get better at, because while I think I'm pretty skilled, man, it's a good way to get yourself really hurt or killed when you think you can do more than you can on the motorcycle. Number 5. We know that we fully don't have control of the other people on the road. We just don't. People are stupid. People don't see us. People are talking on their phones. There's numerous reasons people don't care that we're on the motorcycle where we can get ourselves hurt. So we have to always, in my opinion, be alert. We got to always be thinking ahead. We got to be thinking, is there a car coming over this hill right now? Do I really want to be hugging this line in position 1? No, I'm probably not going to do that, right? There's so many things that cagers do that can put us in danger. I remember the first thing I was taught when I went to the Harley Riding Academy, especially with cars coming out. T-bone is really, I think, one of the from a statistics perspective where people get hurt most of the time if it's not slow speed riding. And I remember them telling me, don't watch the driver, always watch the wheels. And there's just so many things that I think that we got to always be paying attention to about other riders and conditions outside. I happen to know this stop sign here. There's a lot of loose gravel normally, so I will take this just a little slower going into it, and just make sure that I'm positioning myself somewhere where I can get my foot down. So those are the 5 that I think about, but I would love to hear from you what I missed and what additional items do you think are keys to making sure that we are safe, things that could happen, and ways to mitigate and lower the risk of that to make us safe riders so we can ride well into our later ages in life. Love to hear your feedback on that. Thanks for coming out on the ride with me today. There's not many more days in Michigan that I'm going to be able to ride Duke naked without any windshield, so I had to take advantage of that today. Looks like there's a ton of riders out. Be well. I hope you get out there and ride. Be safe. Check on a friend. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, folks.